We were back with a dual session. We got a lower and upper session. This was from what day? From Sunday the 8th and then Tuesday, March 10th. Both sessions went really well. I feel like I'm finally back in the swing of things. We had that crazy ice storm, so I was still training, but I was mostly in my garage. It was like negative degrees out in the garage, so training wasn't great. Got the flu. It's just been one thing after another. I've still been training consistently. That's never an issue, but how intense the sessions have just they just haven't been as intense as they were prior to that ice storm, prior to me getting sick. So this was my first session back where I felt like, all right, we're back to normal. It was my first like heavy lower body session. So I was very happy with it. It felt good to just be back to normal. And that was the other thing. We had daylight savings time, and that just completely jacked me up. I mean, I literally did not sleep that Sunday night going into Monday for daylight savings time, and that's never happened to me before. People talk about all the time, like, oh, I didn't sleep last night. In reality, they slept like an hour, 2, 3 hours. Like, literally did not sleep, didn't get a minute of sleep, and that really messed me up too. So anyway, it just feels good to have this session, be back, push hard. Again, consistency is never my issue, ever. It's just ebbs and flows of life between kids, being married, multiple jobs, running my company, teaching, coaching, all that kind of stuff. There's just ebbs and flows. So it's always nice when I can string together multiple good training sessions. So this felt like the first good lower body training session in quite a while. So I got these lateral squats. These suck. I'd rather do all the Bulgarian split squats in the world than do these. Yes, it's 65 pounds. The weight's not heavy at all, but just the positioning, I'm immobile. Just joints and in ranges of motion don't feel great, but that's why we're doing it. I'm sprinting a lot more now. I've been sprinting through the winter, but the volume and frequency of sprinting and running and stuff is going up because it's getting warmer outside. So the lateral squats just really helped me feel better going into a lot of sprinting. This was my single for my safety squat bar. It was not the single that I wanted. I was hoping to get around 365-ish, something like that. Didn't pan out, but I'll take the 335. These were back downs. Back downs felt really good. These felt way better than the actual single, but that's why we do singles. We get that post-activation potentiation. The weight feels lighter after the single. The single gives you an idea of kind of where you're at. Again, it's not about chasing the single. The single is not the thing that's necessarily driving the adaptation or anything like that. It's the back down sets, but so it's good when that single doesn't quite go that well, but then these back downs feel better because I know that this is where I'm actually making my money at. This is what's actually pushing me forward are these back down sets. Was doing jumps in between. Again, trying to get a little more athletic going into the spring and summer. I've been doing jumps, but the frequency hasn't been as much. The volume hasn't been as much. But now that it's getting warmer out, just ramping it up because I'm going to, after this powerlifting meet, it's just going to go more into, again, sprinting, jumping, all that kind of stuff. So just trying to get the body ready, just become a very capable and robust human being. I'll be 39 next month in April. So I'm just excited to be able to do all these things: run, jump, sprint, be mobile, be strong, all that kind of stuff. I feel like, a lot of people pigeonhole themselves into one thing. And as I've said before, I think sometimes it's a cop-out. I know that it's a cop-out because I used to do it. That's why I didn't run. That's why I didn't jump. That's why I didn't do a lot of things, because I was like, no, I'm a power lifter. I can't do that. But in reality, it's like, look, I'm not a elite level power lifter or anything like that. So is me adding in jumps, sprints, throws, runs, mobility work, cleans, snatches, are those things really going to be detrimental to my powerlifting performance or my bodybuilding performance? No, that's a cop-out. If I was a pro bodybuilder or a pro powerlifter, yeah, I'd give a little more thought to all the extracurricular stuff that I'm doing, but I'm not. I'm almost 39. I'm a dad. I'm a strength coach. I'm a private strength coach. Like, I need to be able to do all these things. I need to be able to perform and show clients, my high school kids, that I'm capable and that I can hang. That's the most important thing for me. And has it been a detriment to my strength at all? No. So if there's any advice I could give to people, it's don't use that don't use that cop out of, oh, I don't want to take away from my powerlifting or my bodybuilding or whatever it might be by doing these other things, because it's not. All of these things are only, in my opinion, going to enhance your performance as a strength athlete. Again, if you're a capable human being, if you're a robust human being, you're probably going to be better at whatever the specific sport or specific task that you're doing. Again, there's obviously always caveats to that when we're talking about like pro level strongmen, pro level weightlifters, powerlifters, but I'm not that. I'm a 39-year-old dude who likes to lift weights and who does this for a living as far as being a strength coach and high school teacher and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, there's my rant for the day. As I'm talking about that, you can see them adding in some jump roping now, going back and forth between regular skips and then boxer skips. So been adding in these. I'm actually normally doing my warm up, but for whatever reason, I put it in the middle of my video. But normally that's in my warm up. Rollbacks. I love rollbacks. Rollbacks are a classic exercise. If you are a physical culturist, meaning you've paid attention to the history of strength sports and exercise and things like that, rollbacks they're just a classic exercise. You know, they're made famous within the kind of powerlifting scene within the 90s at Westside Barbell. If you've ever done any type of conjugate work ever, then you've done rollbacks. They're a fantastic exercise. I love them from a bench press perspective. I love them from a tricep perspective and just moving heavy weight. I mean, they are one of the best exercises if you want to move heavy weight with your triceps. I messed around with this and I found out. Fantastic lateral raise variation. I really, really like this supported version. Like, subscribe, comment. I will see you guys later.